I'm going to do a vlog on trigeminal neuralgia, so this will be of absolutely no interest to anybody that follows me normally. I have a rare neurological disease that has been a huge factor, so this will be of no interest to you guys. But I'm going to tag it and name it so that I noticed I did one vlog on it, and I noticed a couple hundred people had looked at that. There's not enough information out there on it, and most of the people who have it are dead. 9 out of 10 people, they call it the suicide disease. 9 out of 10 people that have it commit suicide eventually, or it causes their death in some way. So anyway, of no interest in my regular. I also do music, if you found this searching for trigeminal neuralgia information. Let's see, where did it start? Well, with me, it started with dental work, and it's the kind of thing where one of the things that you'll learn if you have trigeminal neuralgia, I feel like that robot in Alien, where they reactivate his head, and he says he realizes that the alien they're up against is unstoppable and it's going to kill them all, and he's like, "You have my sympathies," you know. It's like, so it started with me with dental work, some botched oral surgery, and and it happens a lot that way. In dental work, I've done a lot of research. I'm also a research scientist, a computer scientist, physicist, and have 3 advanced degrees in various yada yada, and was given access to all the files at several anonymous files, made anonymous names, blocked off the files at several major universities. I used to teach at one before all of this. So I would pit my expertise on it against anybody on the planet, and there's just not enough information about it out there. I mean, there's a strong correlation with dental work, and like I said, and one of the things that you find when you have this, I've been to more than 1,000 doctors, spent several $1 million in cash plus insurance money in the last, I've had it 17 years, so I mean, I used to own homes in Malibu and Beverly Hills. This is where I live now, and you know, it is what it is. You know, I've had to accept so much from this thing, but where can I start? There's a strong correlation with dental work, and what you'll find is a lot of dentists I used to teach at a major university, and I know this to be true, is that you'll find a lot of doctors and neurologists that will, you know, they lie, they're trained to lie. Being a doctor it's a business just like any other business. So, you know, they will lie to you outright. They don't know what it is, how to treat it, what they're doing. Most of it's just best guess. And, you know, I would say, first of all, mine was caused by botched dental work, which the doctor refused to take responsibility for. And in fact, there were a number of lawsuits exchanged, which pretty much, it's almost impossible to successfully sue for malpractice nowadays, so he got away scot-free. Okay, so it's the most frustrating thing is that you find that doctors and people that you've trusted, you know, like that, will lie over and over again about their part in it, or their taking any responsibility, and the people around you don't understand. 4 minutes in. I think the most frustrating thing has been, I've had this for 17 years. I mean, I didn't give up a multi-million-dollar, you know, a really glamorous job, and not even job, owning companies in Hollywood and recording studios, and working with the most famous people in the world on a daily basis, where they were begging me to work with them, giving me hundreds of thousands of dollars, and being a well-respected music industry guy. I didn't give all that up just so I could come live here like this, just because, and it seems like my family can't quite put that together. I went through the addiction, I'll cover that too, and all of that kind of stuff. But you would think common sense would tell them there's something really wrong with this guy. There's a book called It's All in Your Head, and a lot of people will accuse you of being crazy. So you're already, right now it's hard for me to take care of myself, to be honest. I have difficulty just existing. Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain 24/7. And I've been doing some music stuff, and at a really, professional level. I think everybody thinks, in fact, that's seen it. That's another issue, but it's astounding that under these circumstances, living like this, with this disease and other problems too, that I've been able to get anything done. So, but people are not going to understand you. And that's the hardest part, and they're not going to understand what's happening. Doctors don't know what to do. Most of them if anybody claims that they can cure it, they're a liar. There just is no cure. I've tried everything available. Thought I was cured, and then within weeks or months it came back. It seems to always come back. I mean, I don't want to... It's taken Iron Man or Herculean type endurance and sort of effort on my part to even stay alive, much less get anything done of any value. So it's totally sort of shifted and adjusted my view on reality and life, and so I mean, it's frustrating because the first thing, though, you should also early out is have a complete dental exam and workup done by more than one dentist to make sure that the pain isn't, try to find causality, and then go to a neurologist and have a complete neurological workup done. Although neurologists are, especially if you've hung out, I used to teach, among other things, and if you've hung out with many neurosurgeons who are world class, you won't meet sort of a more arrogant, cocky bunch of people who are basically working from really only being able to cause a predictable outcome in about 1/10 of the cases. And most of the time they're saying we'll see or we'll monitor the situation. But it's helpful. The Chinese base their entire neurological system on, or their medical system. Howdy.
Hi. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Come back there.
Look at that dog.
Yeah.
I could swear you got bigger and meaner.
You just jump all over. Come on, Lily.
But it's the Chinese base their entire medical system on neurology, and if you think about it, it's pretty smart. That's what acupuncture is about. It doesn't particularly cure you, but it sets up the conditions where the electrochemical system in your body can actually communicate. Your brain is what's giving you all the signals to telling all of these millions of chemicals to when to deploy and how. And anyway, but so you've got your dental workup, you've got your neurological workup. I mean, I'm not going to paint a bright picture on it. You might find something. The good news is it's misdiagnosed a lot. A lot of times, if you just have unbearable facial pain, cranial pain, facial, jaw, teeth, nose, eyes, They call it trigeminal neuralgia. It's diagnosed probably 9 times out of 10 it's misdiagnosed. So if you've had it for 5 years, I would say at that point you can safely say it is trigeminal neuralgia. Um, what else could I say? I mean, I've been through so much, just so much, like biblical proportions. If you still have a home, family, wife, or husband, or whatever, you're probably going to lose those things. People can't really, they don't understand, and they have a pretty low, no matter how devoted you are to somebody, are you going to put up with them sleeping in a dark room day after day, year after year, for how long? Unable. You suddenly have to take care of the kids all by yourself. They're not making any money, or they're not providing, cleaning the house or any. I mean, it's just, you're basically dragging a corpse around. So, I mean, is there any hope? Well, no. No, I'm not going to bullshit you. No, there's really no hope. Not much at all. 9 out of 10 people commit suicide. In my own research, 89.9%. You'll find up as low as half, as high as 99%. I found 89.9% of people who have it commit suicide. I belong to a chronic pain support group at one time. There were 18 of us to start. After a year, there were 9 of us. And when I quit, there were 6 left alive. So most people do so within the first 5 years. I've had it 17. I guess I just keep living, force a habit. Tried suicide with real good, valid plans a couple times. Woke up in the hospital a couple times. Massive overdose that would have absolutely been effective. Other stuff that just didn't work out. I guess I was just destined to suffer here. I mean, what you can do, I think, is I've put myself in this RV where I can take care of sort of myself on a very limited basis. I mean, this is a disaster as far as in a lot of people's minds and eyes, but for me, it's a triumph that I'm able to even function in this world and get to do anything. So beware of people promising cures. There isn't any. There are not any, and I would say learn to sort of manage what you have if you want to stay alive. If you're thinking about suicide, that's understandable. I wish mine would have been successful. What I found is it hurts so bad to wake up with tubes jammed down your throat and all in you, and confused and half your brain gone. And if it's not success, make sure it's successful, I would say. More than once, like I say, I took I tried it and foolproof plans and ended up surviving it by some miracle. So I mean, the biggest, hardest thing has been to realize that and what's the most frustrating is, as I said, nobody around you is going to understand it, and nobody really cares, and they can't. They're leading their life. They don't have this. My own mom constantly forgets that I have it, and it's the single biggest thing that's ever happened to me, and I've been part of some huge things that are global, in my work. I've been part of things that you hear every day as far as music and movies and video and film, and I've been part of global things a lot. Not just once, but thousands of hundreds and thousands of times. And this is by far the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, after a while, people lose I would say, learn to take care of yourself, digress, egress, or, drop back away into a situation you can handle yourself. You're not going to be able to count on anybody. Everybody is going to abandon you. That's just the way things work. It's a shitty deal, but that's the way it works. I mean, even though I'm living here in what are subhuman conditions, hasn't been a single family member who came, and they all have money and jobs and some success. So hasn't been a single one of them that just came charging in and said, "Oh my God, this is unacceptable that you live like this and that you're unable to take care of yourself. Let me help here. Here's some. I'm going to set you up." The ability to, in a house or whatever. And before I can say, go any further, I'm scattered and flighty, but your ability to focus is so greatly altered by this thing that all you can think about is like being stabbed in the face 10,000 times a day with a screwdriver, with a red hot screwdriver. And even worse, like having somebody put two of them in and pry at the inside of your brain. So yeah, it's played upon me. My ability to focus is greatly altered. On that tack, though, lately, I had a doctor tell me that a pain psychologist at Cedars-Sinai, Gary, I don't remember his last name, he told me that if you manage to live, you'll get to experience what it is to age 10 years for every one that everyone around you ages, and you'll probably develop some special skills and coping skills and abilities and sort of hyper extended psychic skills, or not well, kind of ESP, I guess, but my ability to sort of understand, because I had to focus so hard to do the music I've been doing, for instance. So check it out if you have time. It's pretty cool. But my ability to focus has sort of gone into, I have to focus so hard to get anything done that I now have sort of a way, like otherworldly understanding of how music works, how the mathematical relationships work, how when I'm tracking, like recording guitar, I play guitar and all the instruments, but usually I do stuff on guitar or MIDI guitar, and I'm in so much pain when I'm tracking that I'm like, look, unless you want to sit here all day and do this time and time again, get your focus completely together where you can get it right one time. So most things I play through once every track, and then in the production and the mixing of it, anyway, what I'm saying is that it's become so forced and focused because of this pain that I'm able to understand things in such a way that I never really did before, that it's frightening, it's uncanny, it's strange, and I realize that that's going on, and a lot of that really, though, is just getting it done. But anyway, it's a tough road to hoe. It's the biggest single thing that's ever happened to me, and you're probably not going to survive it, but if you decide to fight for a while. I tried the drugs. Yeah, it's great to be pretty much out of pain and high all the time. In 100% of the cases, you're not going to be the person that can handle opiate painkillers. Those will sort of drain the life out of you in a different way, and you're not really alive when you're on those anyway. You're just fooling yourself. You're already dead. And the withdrawal, I've been in so many psychiatric institutes and so many hospitals from drugs and this, and it's not a bright picture, but I want you to know somebody's gone down this road. Like I said, I guess I just keep alive because of force of habit. But, I realize some of the people that sometimes people follow this vlog. This one's really more so to put up to the network and people will search and find, not from my vlog. But I realize a lot of those people I think they forget or don't understand. Some of them say, I should do this, I should do that. It's like, dude, I can't even take care of myself anymore, much less it's all I can do to take care of myself and get some songs done, much less, go on tour or anything. So that's never going to happen. I'll never leave here alive, and that won't be too long now. I'm not going to commit suicide. I have a heart condition. So In one way, I'm the only person I'll ever know that I was able to do this under these circumstances. And I'm trying to let other people know, and I'm kind of finding out is nobody really cares. They're all involved with their own lives, understandably so. But I think maybe someday somebody will. I think some researcher or some person in college will write a paper or a book or something about it. You know, I understand now why they built the pyramids. I didn't want to pass through this life and not leave some kind of record I was even here, much less I kind of took the Da Vinci approach, which is we wouldn't have paid nearly as much attention to the genius of, and I'm not even saying I'm a genius, I'm just saying this is the approach I took, that if Da Vinci wouldn't have also done art, we really wouldn't have known and respected him as much as the scientist that he really was, so I kind of took that approach. I think in time, and also I'm leaving all this data to sort of explain myself, because nobody understands, and it's been really frustrating. And it's been really easy and quick for people, my family, everyone, to just go, oh, well, as long as it's not me living like an animal, in a cage, broke, hungry sometimes, alone, well, that's okay. People are just really quick to say, you know what, it's not me, so I don't care. And that's been the most shocking and kind of the most heartbreaking, but I already knew that in life. I name these really boring names so that nobody will check them out on my vlog anyway. I'll just name this Trigeminal Neuralgia. I don't know what to say. It's been a long, unending nightmare. I guess to go back to Alien, you have my sympathies.